Hey, I'm Ron Drotos, and welcome to day 29 of our 31-day rock piano for beginners workout challenge. And we're not heading towards the end. We're not nearing the end of the 31 days. This is just the beginning of everything for you. This is attaining fluency so that you can then start with the nuts and bolts and getting into different keys and different chord progressions and everything in more detail. And then you keep jamming on the side. So it's always like the 70-30 kind of thing, right? 70% doing, jamming, having fun, 30% working on the new stuff and in a more intensive way. Not the opposite, which holds so many people back. So the bass player, Daryl Jones, great bass player, jazz and rock. He's playing with the Rolling Stones, and he's basically a member of their band. It has been for several decades now. But he played with Miles Davis before that in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s, maybe 90s. But it was when Miles had his funk band, you know, the sort of band that did electric type music, electric bass. Miles wore sparkly outfits and stuff, and it's holding up to time. It sounds great, right? And when Daryl Jones auditioned for Miles Davis, he tells this story that he went to Miles' apartment, Upper West Side of Manhattan, and Miles asked him to only play two things. He put on a recording of a recent concert he had done, and he said, play what you would play on this, you know, on bass. So Daryl Jones does that. Then Miles turns off the recording and says, okay, can you play a slow blues? And Daryl Jones plays a slow blues, and Miles says, no, slower. He's like, okay, so he plays it even slower. No, slower. And he plays, like a boom. Really slow, what they used to call like a gut bucket kind of blues. And that got him the gig. Miles wanted to hear that he could play a slow blues, because if you can play a slow blues, that's the heart of anything having to do with rock and jazz. And it's kind of thing that not many people really, really dig into, real slow blues. But we're going to do that today. So I'm going to set our timer for 20 minutes, and we're going to get there. We're going to use it to achieve a few goals for us. One is we're just going to get used to playing at a slow tempo, which is just sort of, we're in a society now, you're waiting at the elevator for 2 minutes or 20 seconds, and people take out their Instagram, and I even do it sometimes, check your email. It's like a compulsion to always move forward. Slow blues is about being now, now, now. So we're just going to play an A in the left hand, either octave. Feel this groove. Just join along with me. We're going to be in the key of A. And it's not just downbeats. There's an implied, well, not an implied, there's a space between it. It's like a ball bouncing, and you have to wait for it to bounce to play the next one. So just keep playing that, and I'm going to improvise in my right hand. Feel that pulse, boom, like a slow heartbeat. And since it's very slow, it's usually divided into triplets in your mind. So we can say triplet, triplet. Even I wanted to get faster there, so it's triplet, 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 triplet. Good, shake out your arm, you don't want to overdo it. So now, let's play a blues in A with the chords just in the right hand. So it's an A chord, A, C sharp, E. The 4 chord's going to be a what? A, B, C, D, right? D, D, F sharp, A. And then when we get to the 5 chord, it's E, G sharp, B. So I just want you to hold down those chords, and you could play them whenever you want, but the main thing is to just play it and listen to this pulse that I'm going to keep. So the idea is to live in this slow groove for a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. E chord, 2, 3, 4, D, triplet, 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 dun, 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 dun. Yeah, shake out your arm. So one of the reasons why piano players tend to speed up when we play, and many great professionals speed up, is because we tend not to, like a drummer would just sit there and practice. Ching, ching, on the cymbal, really feeling this for an hour at a time. We tend not to put in that rhythmic work. Also, what we play in the right hands tends to make us want to speed up. You know, you're at this nice groove, and then you play, and then all of a sudden we speed up, right? So we want to sit back in this groove to help us get this tempo and then sort of luxuriate. Just luxuriate in this tempo. All right, so let's try that thing with the triplets, just to feel that. So we're going to play triplets with a real relaxed forearm, wrist, and a little shock absorber. Now, bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, right hand chords. Try just that single note in the left hand again, and we're going to take it through the 12-bar blues. So here we go. Ready? A, 1, 2, triplet, 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 3, triplet, 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 4, triplet, triplet. Now D, the 4 chord, 2, triplet, triplet, 1, 2, the ball bouncing, A, bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. Now E, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Good. So let's say you were in a band and the bass player wasn't there that day. So they said, can you play keyboard bass? And all we want you to do on this tune is play those quarter notes. And the whole rest of the band's going to play more, but your role is to just play the quarter notes. Real life scenario. Even when I was on Broadway playing the keyboards in Smokey Joe's Cafe, I was a substitute, long-term sub. Some of the parts were that easy. I would just hold a note and it would be the strings for like 4 measures at a time. Real simple on Broadway. I remember everybody else going ba-dum, dum, and I'm going da with one note on the strings. And it's great because it fits into the groove. So you're just going to play that same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't play what I'm playing. Play the boom. Good, good. Now solo, shake out your left hand. Solo, just with your right hand now. We'll sort of try different things with this. I'll play this slow beat. Just solo over it. 1, 2, the A blues scale. Chords in your right hand. Just play the chords. But don't speed up. Try to play in this rhythm, even if you're holding things. Keep going with the chords. Now the left hand. Boom, boom, boom. musicians, many great musicians, B.B. King being probably one of the most famous, who spend their whole lives basically playing the 12-bar blues and some variations on it. And their vocabulary, it's not like constant learning new techniques and scales like, say, in jazz would be, because the blues doesn't need that. You can add that to it if you like, and I've done that too, but we can sit here, that's the beautiful thing, for a long time and get deeper and deeper and deeper into it. We haven't even talked about blues lyrics or different specific performers, but everybody has their own little take on it, and that's what makes it so fascinating. There's something about this 12-measure phrase and this being at home on the tonic, going out, coming home, going a little farther, coming back and coming home, that is so universal and so deep inside us that it resonates, and you never get tired of this. That's the thing. So by alternating this bass, repeated quarter note, playing the chords in some different rhythms if you wanted to, and then improvising, we're actually moving in the direction of hand independence at the same time, even though we haven't been playing the hands at the same time. Doing this kind of thing where it's not like you're staying on the quarter notes for a long time and then staying on the other. We're alternating and running through the cycle. By doing this, it kind of slightly confuses our brain in a good way. Like, oh yeah, I got to get back in this groove. Okay. And now, oh, now I got a solo. Now I got to do this. Now I'm back to that groove. And even though it's sequential and not simultaneous, it will help us when we start to go back to simultaneous hand independence exercises, or you do it on your own or whatever. So let's just stay here a little bit and jam. And we're just gonna do the same thing. Now I'm gonna let you do whatever you want, for the last couple times. Now a few of you have left comments and told me that at the end of these videos, you just tune out, stop playing, and just watch me. If you want, you can do that, because you'll pick up stuff by osmosis. I learn by watching other people too. But at the same time, this is for us to really do it together. So this time, don't do that. Play along. Anything you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. slow blues, you could spend 20 minutes doing that, right? It goes by so quickly. And part of it is laying back and just joining the rhythm. We're not really creating the rhythm. It's like we're just lying back on a little, little boat or something, I don't know, and just sort of floating, or lying back in a nice cushion, or under, you ever lie on the grass and look up at a big tree, tall tree, okay, just watching the clouds go, beautiful. So thanks for joining me on this. I feel so energized, believe it or not, by playing that relaxed blues. So great. Thanks for being here. There's some links you can click. And like I said, we only have 2 more of these, but this is not the ending. We are not winding down. This is the beginning of your whole lifetime of playing with fluency since we've done this month, which seemed like so long, right? Oh, a whole month to develop fluency. But some of you have told me that you've made more improvement in that area and in your playing than you have in many years. So this is great. Congratulations. Makes me feel great. And thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.